Mila, I was so excited when Coach Seema reached out and said you had got a full ride. Where did you get a full ride to?
I got a full ride to the University of Urbana-Champaign, Illinois for computer science.
Congratulations.
And the money actually wasn't really a huge issue for the University of Chicago because I was awarded the CPS scholarship, so it's full tuition.
Wait a minute. You're telling me you basically got a full ride to the University of Chicago as well?
Yes.
That's amazing.
So there was one scholarship that I just couldn't say no to, sponsored by the CEO of PayPal. So there's one student that's picked every like 4 or so years to receive the scholarship, and exclusively in computer science. I received that
That's
scholarship.
awesome.
And I came on the dreariest of days. It was rainy and dark and cloudy, and I loved it. I just felt at home. It's okay if you're not entirely sure where you're going, but when you get where you're supposed to be, you'll know.
Hey, welcome back by one of our amazing seniors, Mila Martinez. Welcome, Mila.
Thank you.
Mila, I was so excited when Coach Seema reached out and said you had got a full ride. And then talking to you, why don't you start off by let's just celebrate the win. Where did you get a full ride to?
I got a full ride to the University of Urbana-Champaign, Illinois for computer science.
Congratulations.
Thank
That is
you.
awesome. You are going to college free.
I am.
Who's more excited, you or your parents?
I think me, because I have a lot more leniency in college. I'm gonna have to actually like live the 4 years.
There you go. Yeah, I mean, it is a remarkable accomplishment because, Mila, I've been out of school for 20 years and I graduated with significant debt. Not, I mean, in my graduate programs. My undergrad was actually not bad, probably less than 20K, but the student loan crisis combined with just how expensive college is now, and if you're on any type of income-driven repayment plan, if you have to take out student loans, you really don't pay down the balances, or your alternative is when you graduate school, the majority of that great income that you're going to earn goes to paying down those student loans. So I just want to I know you're probably not looking at that right now, but it is such an amazing accomplishment that you're going
Thank
to
you.
go and graduate debt free. So please take advantage of that and do something amazing for humanity because that is awesome.
That is
So
my goal.
awesome. So, Mila, you actually joined pretty late in the process when we got to know each other. I'm actually reviewing, we onboarded right around end of July. And I want to actually start off with something we messed up. I think we messed up your onboarding because I remember there was some confusion about onboarding. Dad and I were messaging back and forth. Something was missed. And I literally I remember exactly where I was. We were driving back from Michigan. We visited some friends of our family out there, and you were having issues. I think dad was even like, I don't know if this is the right program from us. Maybe we made a mistake. I pulled over. I don't know if you know this. I pulled over on a rest stop and made sure onboarding was done correctly to get you on. So we had a little rocky start, but just to kind of give the listeners out there where you came to us as a rising senior looking for guidance with your applications, right? Where were you in
Mhm.
that process?
I hadn't started. I think I kind of like, I have problems with time management, so I was kind of like in the mindset of, oh, I'll do it later. I'll start later. Like the applications haven't even opened yet. It's not worth looking at the past essay requirements or anything. And I ended up realizing that there are like over 20 schools I want to apply to, and I have not started on any of them. And I was very stressed.
Yeah, I think your first call with one of our counselors was on the 27th of July. Just in that aspect of like we want to get almost everything done in terms of the pre-process by August 1st. So you came a little bit late. So I guess what was it that ultimately made a decision that yeah, you needed to get coaching?
I think I really thought about like my future and the goals that I had for myself, and I realized that it wasn't going to happen if I didn't like take control of like my college applications and actually do them.
Okay, so you struggle with time management. You get in, just kind of walk us through the process that lasted the rest of summer into fall and early winter.
After like getting onboarded, I started first with my personal statement. So I'm a perfectionist. So I wanted to be like amazing. So I worked with the essay coaches and I just kept revising and revising, looking back and revising. And then at a certain point, I realized that like the more I revise it, the less it becomes like me. So at a certain point, I had to be like, okay,
Yeah.
this is perfect as it's gonna get. And then I started with the school individual essay questions. So I started with the UCs because those were like due sooner.
Yeah.
And then I did like the early application ones first. So I did MIT and Urbana-Champaign early as well.
Right. You had some pretty big schools on your list, right? Because we were
Hmm.
narrowed down from 20. You were looking at some, you looked at MIT. Were you looking at Ivy Leagues too?
Yes, I applied to most of them.
And then you applied to the UC system and then also Urbana-Champaign.
Hmm.
Okay. And then I guess, so you got that process in, the essay you started with, and you probably can speak to this too. The supplementals are kind of what gets you. The bigger your list, the more essays you're on the hook for writing.
Hmm.
How did that kind of like shape where you were submitting your applications to?
At a certain point, because I had like a lot of ambitious schools, but then I also needed safeties. So I kind of then started like trying to do the applications that had sort of like similar questions. I just like tweaked the answers for them to like be like more school unique. I think at a certain point, like when I got my admission from Urbana-Champaign, the application for University of Michigan was due, and I had not started on the supplementals. And I was like, okay, Urbana-Champaign has a better program, and it's probably gonna be less expensive, so like I'm not gonna even bother doing all that. So I didn't
So,
submit to UMich.
and just looking at your profile, you're a good student. You got good grades, good GPA, you got really good test scores, right? Do you feel like that the personal story, the essay you're able to combine really highlighted that to make sure admissions officers saw who you truly were?
I think that I think my grades are sort of just like a part of who I am. Like they're kind of like sort of like an effect of like my experiences. So I for my personal statement, I kind of emphasize like how like my personal experiences had like impacted my schoolwork because I had dealt with some difficult times during my sophomore and junior year. So that was what my personal essay was based on and kind of how I managed to like keep my grades up and keep everything in order despite that.
Gotcha. So, did you go visit any of these schools? I know you were late in the process, but did you visit all the schools you applied to? What ultimately, I know the full ride was probably the the thing that pushed it over the edge, but ultimately, I'm assuming you got into multiple schools. What was the deciding factor?
The main difficulty I had in choosing, I think it was down to the University of Urbana-Champaign and University of Chicago. And the money actually wasn't really a huge issue for the University of Chicago because I was awarded the CPS scholarship, so it's full tuition.
Oh,
So
wait a minute. You're telling me you basically got a full ride to the University of Chicago as well?
about, yes.
No big deal. That's amazing.
Thank you.
Congratulations. Okay. Continue. That's awesome.
So I actually did a summer program at the University of Chicago, and I had spent a lot of time on the campus. And I did a summer program at the University of Chicago. It was like sort of a youth internship. And through spending so much time on the campus, because I know it's a very prestigious institution, that's kind of like what I was searching for in the Ivy Leagues. But when I actually spent time there, it just didn't feel right for me.
Hmm.
So, mhm.
I love how you said that because we talk to a lot of families. Our program has grown significantly in the AP side, and we have a lot of families that come in on the college side. But I think kids, they think they want this, or their parents think they want this, but it really is a personalized experience. And I commend you for going there, having committed to a summer program. It is feel. Now, I didn't go anywhere as prestigious as you're going or gotten into. But I remember that was one of the deciding factors of where when I was looking into schools is that this felt better. This felt like, despite all these things, I feel at home here. And so you got that from Urbana, right?
I actually, the reason why I chose Urbana is because it had a better program than Chicago. So it's like fifth in the nation for computer science, I'm pretty sure. Great value program. And also, there was one scholarship that I just couldn't say no to. It was $21,000 per year renewable scholarship, which is like a university specific one. But what was special about it is that it's $21,000 per year, but it's sponsored by the CEO of PayPal, who's an
Oh,
alum from Urbana-Champaign. So there's one student that's picked every like 4 or so years to receive the scholarship and exclusively in computer science. And you get the opportunity to meet the CEO of PayPal, which I thought was really cool, like
and
the
you
founder of
got it.
PayPal. Yes, I received that
That's
scholarship.
awesome. That
Yeah.
is so awesome. Amazing. So, yeah, I mean that's just great. I'm so happy for you. I'm so excited for you. So, I just was the support helpful for you in terms of this process, meeting with their coach?
Very. I am not great at keeping myself accountable for things. It's like sort of like my Achilles heel. I am very, very bad at time management. So I feel like without the program, I would have been doing all of my supplementals the day they were due. It wouldn't have been that good. So probably wouldn't have gone into as many schools. So I think it was very helpful in that regard.
Awesome. And I just wanted to, I talked to Coach Seema just to give her a shout out. Loved working with you. You were a joy to work with. She wants to pass that on. But also, I think one of the biggest stories is, I know we were aiming for some pretty big schools too with that, with the list. Obviously, you got into a big school. You got into one of the top 10 too with the University of Chicago. Just fun fact. The scholarships it's not just about getting in, it's about who actually wants you. And you getting that much money shows that like this is a fit for you in terms of they actually want you there and they're willing to invest in you in your future. So congratulations.
Thank you.
So enjoy summer, enjoy graduation. Congratulations on that as well. Any closing thoughts about just the journey, the program, anything else?
I just want to say real quick because I feel like I kind of didn't really say this earlier. I didn't visit Urbana-Champaign until after I'd gotten in and committed. So I committed to the
Okay.
school and I visited and I came on the dreariest of days. It was rainy and dark and cloudy and I loved it. I was like, this is the place for me. I just felt at home. So I
Okay.
feel like it's okay if you don't like
Right.
if you're not entirely sure where you're going, but when you get where you're supposed to be, you'll know.
Yeah, I meant it more of overall, like a lot of kids will say, I want to go to Harvard, I want to go to Stanford, but there's not just one school that's the right fit for you. There's a lot of schools that potentially want you to go there. And like you said, you had a difficult choice between U of Chicago and Urbana-Champaign. So that's awesome.
Thank you.
All right. Well, I hope to hear from you again. Definitely really, really appreciate it. And we'll see you next time.
Thank you.